Good morning. Coffee Conversations with Greg J is on. How are you today? Tuesday. Yep. Another week in the bag, eh? Or beginning another week. They say it's yesterday was International Women's Day. So much love to all the sisterhood everywhere on that day. But you know what? Over here at Dream Creator Studio, Beach City Radio, we're celebrating all month International Women's History Month. That's what we're doing. We're going and celebrating sisters all over the world, actually. Started out with Rhonda Love last week, began the beginning of March. And let me take my glasses off. Lots of glare, hey? I can't see without them, though. But hey, this week I'm just honored. I'm humbled. I'm down on one knee, man. The level of sisterhood that is coming through to sip coffee with me and chit chat. It is really, really an honor that the sisters are coming through. So today, I've been knowing this woman for a long time, and she is senior executive over there at Herbalife. You know how they do. You know the one you want to lose weight fast. Herbalife, major multi-skillion dollar corporations traveling all over the world, making decisions, leading business in a very real way. So we're just going to bring her on because she is our phenomenal woman of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, Diahanna Brown. Where you at, Diahanna? There
Good
she is.
morning. Good
Good
morning. Good morning,
morning.
Greg. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Yes,
Good,
yes,
good.
yes,
You see, I
yes.
have my glasses on too, so that comes with age.
Yes, absolutely.
Aging gracefully.
Thank you gracefully. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So somebody said you can't see me. I don't know why. Can't
I
you
know.
see me?
I told you I can't see you either. Yeah.
Look, let me do this. My camera is on.
Hmm.
Okay, he's plugged up. The lights
There
are
you
on.
go. There you go.
I'm in now. Ah,
Um,
okay, good. There we are. Okay, all right, all right. You can see me now. Well, at least loose cable in the studio. Isn't that something? Very good. Diane, how you been doing in the COVID environment? It's been crazy out here. How's your family? Everybody good?
yeah. First, let me say, Greg, that my heart goes out to all of those who have lost family members and friends in this crazy COVID pandemic. My family is doing very well. We're all great. Nothing has affected us. Thus far, knock on wood. But just seeing it all around. And then those individuals that I know, I actually know people who have lost family and friends. And I'm sure everyone does. With this pandemic that's going on, and it's just so many things that affected people, not just people losing people, but jobs and people losing homes. And it's sad. It's sad, but it's resilience. People are really fighting. They're fighting. And that's one of the things I love about our culture too, is that you come together, you fight, and we make do with what's thrown at us. So
Mhm. Wow, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's been something.
yeah, yeah.
Really, really something. Well, that's
Well, how's
good.
your family? How's your
Oh,
family?
we're doing all right. We're still standing, and
Yeah, and like you said, we've known each other for a long time. I think
long
I met
time.
you in 2008 or 2007, something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's been a
A long
it's
time.
been a minute.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been a minute, but things are different now out here. With my own media company now and doing
And
some good things.
congratulations.
And thank you,
Congratulations.
thank
Yes.
you. Yeah, so we just try to make it happen. And
Yeah.
Coffee Conversations has been a really good thing of bringing people together from all over the world, and that's what we like to do. And
Hmm.
look, I'm gonna unplug. Somebody said my picture is blurry now. I'm
Yeah,
going
it is a
to
little, yeah, I see
let
that now. It's
me
a little
let
blurry. Yeah.
me let me take myself out and come back in because it
Okay.
looks like everything is all systems go on my end. So I'm gonna unplug. Can you see me?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
All right, good
Absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. All right, everybody.
Mhm.
Yes, Dr. Gloria, I clean my studio every day actually because I got a lot going on in here. So the camera's clean. I don't know what happened there. It was just kind of weird. But anyway, so Diahanna Brown, let's start here. So what exactly is the Vice President of Worldwide Corporate Events and whatnot?
So the word events is in there, right? So,
Yes.
our company is big on events. We do events all over the world.
Mhm.
So I run our event department. So, let's just compare it to, like, for instance, next week is our honors event.
Mhm.
And honors is like the Oscars of our company.
Wow.
So we kick that off next week, and it's a worldwide event. Normally we would have it, in Los Angeles or in 2019, we had it in Singapore. Every other year we go somewhere other than LA. And it's a way for us to come in to celebrate, our all-stars in our company.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you are now,
Mhm.
so you're doing this virtually, I suppose, eh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, I've learned we had to reinvent ourselves, and I had
Mhm.
to learn to, that's what I say with resilience. It's so many people out here that I see that are reinventing themselves. And now is the time to do that while we're sitting at home. And, that mom that's sitting at home with their child turning themselves into an educator now, and they weren't an educator before. And
Mhm.
they have to teach their children and also log on to Zoom so they can get their work done and still feed the family and cook. It's a lot, it's a lot to do, and for me, like you said, I travel all the time. So this actually gave me a pause, to actually, I just purchased a new home in December of 2019. And then the pandemic hit in 2020. Every home that I've ever purchased or anything that I've ever done, I'm always traveling, right? This gave me a pause to really appreciate life, right? To really appreciate things around me, the people around me, and just to be settled and to do things that I normally wouldn't get to do. Like, well, yeah, if I go to Target, I have to wear a mask, but those were things I couldn't do because I didn't have the time. I would come home from a trip, spend a week or so with my family and get back on the road. So I didn't have time to do those things, So thank God for an amazing husband who held things down for me. And it was bittersweet because 2020, I had a senior in high school.
Wow.
So I didn't get to have what most moms would have, a graduation, a prom,
Prom and
and
stuff.
an
Yeah.
event planner, I'm over the top. So it's like, I was ready to do everything over the top for my son, and I wasn't able to do that, going to college, tours and things like that. We weren't able to do all of that, checking him into school when he did actually go on campus to go to college. So checking him into college was totally different. It's like with the masks and all the kids weren't there. You can choose to be on campus or be virtual, so it's a lot that, that happened that we just had to pull through as a family, like everyone else had to do. It was just different, drive by graduation, get in the car, drive by, pick your diploma up, take a picture and drive off.
I think I'm going to have to do that for my twins this year. So
Oh my
drive-by graduation.
Yeah, it's just, but you know what can you do? But try to make the best of it and try to make sure your children understand, and, it doesn't discount their achievement, what they've accomplished, it's just a different way of celebrating. Yeah.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. All right, so in such a high level of corporate leadership, huge company, and all of that, what are some of the challenges that you would say? Do you face challenges as a woman, and how does that measure? Talk about your experiences of business challenges leading as a woman, but then particularly as a Black woman in your area.
Are you really asking that question?
You know it.
There are its challenges. I do have to say though, I work for such an amazing company. It's like, of course, I just celebrated 29 years of being there. Who stays at a job that long? It's like, I don't look at it as a job. It's like I grew up in this company. It's family. We're there. But you're going to have, especially being a Black woman in any company, you're going to have challenges and things, not just because you feel that in the company there are challenges or people pushing you to do different things, but just our personality as a Black woman, it's like you have to work harder. You have to be smarter. You have to be on top of things. You have to be on your game. You have to always be alert. But I've come over the years to understand that, and back in the day, when I first got, this role, it was like, let me just come over to this side and do what is expected of me. And I kind of lost myself a little bit, like I'm going to do what I think people want to see instead of just being authentic and being myself. So then I had to say, I got this position because of who I am. So continue to be yourself. Don't discount who you are, continue to be yourself, I wear your red lipstick. I love red lipstick. Don't feel that, you get coaches, it's like, tone it down a little bit, or no, I'm not toning it down. I want to wear the big earrings. I want to wear the big hair. I'm going to be who I am. This is who I am. And if who I am can't get me to the levels that I need to get, then that's not for me. Right. But this company has embraced who I am. It's just, sometimes we self-doubt ourselves, we're just thinking that we have to do certain things to get to that next level, when just be yourself. Just be yourself and show that you're worthy. Show that you're valuable. Show that who you are as an individual is acceptable. So,
in the wake of George Floyd and the hellified year we had in 2020, you see a lot of corporations, pivoting and making sure that they are, what would you say, embracing their Black employees and embracing their Black customers and all of that. They're making these, diversity training programs, and all of this stuff is happening now that did not exist prior to 2020. What are some of the things that Herbalife is doing to address systemic racism?
Well, we already had, before George Floyd, we already had diversity programs that we would have to go into, a sensitivity training, ethical trainings, all of that prior to that. So it's always been there. You have to know, this is an international company. So we have every race. We're in, I think 96 countries around the world. So it's not just, the African-American community. And then too, we have a strong African-American, distributor group. So it's not just that, that happened and we had to change things or start embracing things, but it has been enhanced, just to bring awareness. We didn't sweep it under the rug and just ignore what was going on in the communities around us. It was addressed, so, and I appreciate that within the company, that, it wasn't just something that was overlooked or not talked about. It was totally addressed, in the media. A release was done. So it was definitely addressed and embraced. And then too, if there was conversations that need to be had, those conversations were had, whether it was in the boardroom with our employees. So it was a really sad time for all of us, right? To see that, especially me as a mom of, my son. I have one child, I have two stepdaughters, but my son, is a Black man. So to see that in my husband, and we as women, it's always, the Black man does have it hard. We understand that. And as a wife, we feel that pain, and we have to be the nurturer. We have to be the support system to keep encouraging, to keep motivating, to keep letting them know that you are valued. It starts with us. It starts with us, the wives, the moms, the sisters, and all of us. It starts with us to let them know. So when they go out in the world, they know they are valued. They know, so we have to keep that encouragement going.
Wow, I love that. That's really, really great. Now you, what is your biggest triumph? Oh man, I'm sitting here thinking, I said, 29 years. I was at KJLH a little more than 20 years. So
yeah.
Wow, that's a long time, right?
Yeah.
And so when you look back on your body of work, what was the most that it just makes you say, dang, that was great. I did that.
Honestly, so the first event, when I got this position, I've been with the company, like I said, 29 years, but I've been in this role since 2012. So it was funny. The first event that I did in the role, the first big event that I did, we were in Sydney, Australia.
Wow.
And I did research because, Oprah had been there and she did this huge event there, right? Mm-hmm. And she did things that they wouldn't let any other person do because she's Oprah, right?
Right.
She's Oprah. So I said, you know what? If they let Oprah do something, maybe they'll let us do something similar. Mm-hmm. So to cut to the point is we had an event there, mm-hmm. and we bought out the soccer stadium that was there.
Wow.
And we had all these yachts and just different things that we did. It was an amazing event. But at the end of the day, we were having this amazing dinner at the soccer field. And a CEO of the company came up to me and he said, wow.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah, he was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. This is great, and then later on, he did tell me, he said, I had doubts, and he was honest. And I love him to this day. He is my biggest motivation. He's not with the company anymore, but he just, when it was presented to him for me to take this role, it was, I guess he had doubts, but then I delivered. And for him to say that was just a huge accomplishment, because it's like, my biggest thing with me is, you tell me I can't do something, I'm not only going to do it, but I'm going to exceed your expectation if it kills me.
That's right. That's right.
The personality that I have. So my team is an amazing team. And it was just great. It was just, this dinner was just amazing. Just imagine, you're in a soccer field, it's only 100 people. And you have a dinner in the middle of this field with huge bouquet of roses and lighting, and just amazing. So, yeah. Wow, that was one of the biggest accomplishments, validation.
Yes. Incredible. Now, how's the business of, what is the category of Herbalife? What do you officially call it? What kind of company is that?
It's a nutrition company.
So nutrition company. Okay. So how's business in this day and time? Is it
excellent?
Ah, wow. Because people want to get
healthy. Yeah. You have COVID that's out here, so it's just, it's been amazing. And sometimes I think sometimes I feel bad about talking about how amazing we're doing, because other companies are not doing that great, or other people are not doing that great. But that's why I said, I love this company, because it's like the things we do, as you've been on the front line with me, Greg, doing things in the community, bringing awareness and doing things in the community, and that was my passion. And I actually wasn't, when I was first introduced to you, it wasn't necessarily through my company. It was through things that I was doing in the community. And then I just kind of was able to bring the company into it. Right.
Yeah.
So that's how it all got started. I was just talking about, volunteer work I was doing, and they were interested. They said, well, why didn't you tell us, or what's going on, and give us background? And then when I told them, it just kind of blew up, and we just started going out into the community doing things, so. Yeah.
Right. So, it's so interesting to hear this stuff. I mean, you wouldn't think. So Herbalife relies on their distributorship to move the product, right? So how do you have COVID protocols and all that? You're educating your distributors on how to get it to the people. How does that work?
Well, I don't know all the behind the scenes on that particular. I only know what's in-house, because I don't work in the warehouses and things like that. But of course, there's protocol, and I know we have protocols. Like, for instance, with our honors events that we're doing right now, all of the staff, the production team, the staff that's working at the event, you have to get tested every day before you even enter the building of where the event is going, and you have to wait for your results. So there's it's huge protocols for different pages and pages of protocols that we have right now for COVID. And I'm sure that those are within the company all over, it's just that I'm not privy to that because I don't work in that area.
Yeah, that's okay. Who's your biggest influence? Like, when I look at Diahanna Brown, I see one of the most awesomest women I know.
Thank you.
And so, like, who are your influences?
You know what? I do have my cousin, for one, and you probably know her, Carrie Champion. She's my cousin from ESPN.
I think so.
Yeah, she is just, she left ESPN, and I never thought she would do that. She walked out on that position and just reinvented herself, but she's a known sportscaster,
Wow.
But honestly, I would have to say, Greg, like I said, I've had time to sit back and be in the world and not just in living out of hotels and everything. I would just say my biggest influences are these women out here, not just corporate women, but these women out here who are reinventing themselves through all of this pandemic. That mom that has to be a teacher, now, or that single mom that may not have a support system here in Los Angeles. Maybe her family lives somewhere else and she's just reinventing herself and getting through this process. I really love seeing women who reinvent themselves or put themselves out there in a vulnerable way to succeed. It just amazes me of the things that people do. Of course we have our Michelle Obamas, we have our Oprahs, and we have all of that, but it's just, I like seeing people from the ground level coming up. You know what I mean? And I like to hear their stories and how they got there and their path and their journey and how they were able to be successful, and even, being knocked down a couple times or not, but still thriving and still getting out there doing it. So I love seeing all of that. I love hearing those stories. I love listening to the stories and celebrating those individuals.
Mm-hmm. When I'm sitting here thinking, there are so many sisters that we do come. They watch Coffee Conversations with Greg J, or send me an email and everything. And that whole homeschooling thing is no joke. They are really, really testing the limits of sisterhood right now.
Yeah, I have staff that, just in conversations, they're always apologizing if their child is going across the screen, or don't apologize. This is how we're living. You're trying to do what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
But just conversations, it's stressful. This has brought on not just financial anguish to people, but mental, as well. It's just, some people just can't cope. Some people can't be isolated like this. Some people need to be out in the world. So everyone had to adjust, and watching these individuals adjust and thriving, or even not thriving, just trying to, in reaching out. That's one thing we as women, especially Black women, we don't know how to reach out for help. It's like, okay, the S is on my chest. It might be a little crooked today, but it's still there. So I'm going to put it back and just keep going. You know what I mean? It's like, we don't know how to ask for help.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more conversation about, mental health and the importance of talking to someone, more in the Black community, where not too long ago it was a huge stigma, right? And so I just think that's what you're talking about is very, very important for everybody to in this day and time, because there's a lot on our head right now. There's just a lot to do. It's really interesting. Now, in this, as you look back on 2020, though, Diahanna, like, real talk, you had so much with Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, the unrest in the streets, coupled with the tumultuous political environment. What is the one word that comes to your mind when you look back on 2020? How did it affect you? How do you describe it?
Well, if I have to use one word, honestly, because this is how I was feeling, it was just sad. It was, I never found myself crying so much, just out of the blue, and it's like one thing after the next thing and after the next thing, it was just sad. When is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? And just blatant things, this is just, I just don't, it was sad, really, really, really sad,
So I must ask you, like I've asked of quite a few people who have come through of all different positions in life. So, okay, George Floyd happens. Describe your first Zoom meeting.
My camera was off.
Mine too.
Yeah, the camera was off. I just couldn't, and my thing was that, I'm not going to, I want to see what's going to happen with anything, not just, any meeting or anything that I'm going to do. I want to see what the conversation, how the conversation is going to start, or if a conversation is going to start. And if it doesn't start, then I'll start it. But I'm just going to wait to see, if a conversation is going to start, because it was just, a mess. And then my camera was off. And of course I'm getting, text messages, are you okay? And, what can I do? I would say one of the things that I did appreciate out of this is the way some individuals wanted to educate themselves, and my biggest thing is that it's not just about, us doing this, or we're letting this is wrong or whatever, it's you getting on the bandwagon, you saying, and when I say you, I mean other people that are not of color, other people that are not brown, you saying, what can I do? explain to me. I don't know what to do or how to do it, or what can I say? What can I do? I want to help, or whatever the case may be, educating themselves, not ignoring what's going on. And I think this really fueled a lot of people to see a man die in front of you, asking for help, a grown man calling out. It was just, I was picturing, oh my God, that could have been my son. That could have been my 18-year-old there. It was just, and then of course, after that happened, it was just, oh my God, okay, where are you going? No, you can't go there. You did it. You know what I mean? It was just like, but thank God that, my husband, we have always educated our son. Like I was asked questions. Do you have that conversation with your son about if he gets pulled over? My son got pulled over once. And let me tell you what happened. The police officer actually called me and told me, oh my God, you've raised such a polite young man. I said, well, did you expect him not to be? I'm not trying to be rude to the police officer, but it's like, did you expect him not to? He said, no, ma'am, I'm not saying that. I'm just letting you know. I pull over a lot of kids and they are so disrespectful. And your son, I'm just letting you know. I do have to give him a ticket though. Because he was speeding.
Yeah.
But I just want to let you know, and I'm like, okay, well, and I'm like, why are you telling me that? But all of that, we as parents, we just worry so much. And me, having a son, I have my husband, of course, a man to raise my man, but a lot of people don't have that. And it goes back again to people need to find areas in their community, if it's family or whatever, we can't do this. None of us, we can't do this alone. It takes a village. And don't be so proud that you have to not reach out to someone. If you're stressing, oh my God, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm stressing so hard today. I just need somebody to talk to. Reach out, people, reach out. That's not weakness. That's strength. That's strength. For you to say you want to talk to somebody or you need some help, that's strength. Because it happens to all of us. I know I can text my girlfriend. I said, ooh, after this Zoom call, I need 5 minutes, just to breathe, just to release.
Yeah.
No questions asked, no judgment. It's just be there for people and then reach out to people.
So Diahanna Brown, when you went to the polls in November and you made your vote and everything, let me ask you, did Black women save America?
Yeah. I just think, what? Look, we all live here, right? We all live in the United States. How do you want your country to go? How do you want to live? And that's the biggest thing, and I always tell people, it's amazing, that Kamala is in office. Stacey Abrams, oh my God, that woman, I don't know where she came from. I don't know. It's just like, she's amazing. You know what I mean? It's like, for her, let me tell you, she could have lost that election and we could have not heard anything from her, right?
Yeah.
No, but what did she do? She was like, okay, I'm not in that office, but I'm sure going to make a difference. Right.
That's right.
Right. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like, okay, well, you didn't win that battle, but you can fight another one. You can fight another one. Bring us to another battle,
Well, she's got the new documentary chronicling her time of going out and registering people to vote and overturning the vestiges of voter suppression. And that she's doing that with Janelle Monáe. And I think it just started yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Oh, really? Okay.
What's the name of it? I can't remember the name of it right this exact moment. But y'all check it out, Stacey Abrams. And yes, phenomenal woman for sure. I'd love to get her on Coffee Conversations. And
oh my God, she's amazing, Greg. She is amazing. It's just, just watching everything that she did and changing women's minds of how they, because some people, a lot of people feel that if they don't like the individuals who are running for any office, right? Well, I'm not going to vote. No, well, you just voted. When you said you're not going to vote, you actually voted, because that's a vote that's lost. That could go either way,
sure.
Right? Yeah, you actually voted. So, it's a right, and I don't get into, politics with people and debating this or debating that, because just like religion and politics, it's a personal thing, right?
Absolutely.
But right is right, wrong is wrong.
Right.
There is no gray area.
So what is your greatest hope right now? for our community?
Actually, my greatest hope for our community, is to come together more. Just support. The one of the best things my son said to me around Valentine's Day. I had all these Valentine's baskets in my house, right?
Yes.
And he walks upstairs and he goes, "Mom, what is all this stuff?" I said, "Oh, my friend started a business and I wanted to support her." He said, "Well, why did you buy all that stuff?" I said, "Because I wanted to support her." He goes, "Well, what are you going to do with it?" I said, "I don't know." Give it to somebody. But he goes, "That's what I'm talking about, Mom." I'm like, "What are you talking about, son?" He said, That's one thing I blame you for." I'm like, "Blame me? What are you talking about?" He said, "Me being so nice, because you're just too nice." I said, "Son, is that a negative thing that you?" He said, "I'm not saying it's negative. I'm just joking with you, Mom, but it's just that I get it from you,
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Well, that's a good thing." I said, "But no, we have to support one another." Mm-hmm. When I found out she was doing this, I just told her, "Okay, well, bring me one of each size,
Mm-hmm.
and you purchase it. You do what you can, and even if it's not, monetary support, you can take that person's page and repost it. You can offer, do you need help? If it's your friend, you need help packaging something, or just give support. And I think that's one thing we need to do, especially women of color. Support one another more, reach out and support. If you have a friend that's starting a business, be the biggest cheerleader. I think Elon Musk said it. I had a quote from him that he was saying that, I love baby showers, but we should have business showers, like people starting business, like have a business shower, promote your business and come together and, celebrate this person who started a business, right? Those type of things, we need to celebrate each other more. The more we do that, the more we come together. Look, we came together in the polls. We see how powerful we are, so it just needs to continue. Don't stop there. Just because you think you accomplished your goal of getting someone into the White House, it doesn't stop there. It has to continue. You have to come together in a community. Like I said, it takes a village.
That's so true. I was down at my studio in the East Village Arts District, and one of our neighbors, we just started chatting about just holding on in this, in this strenuous time. And he wasn't even the business owner. He just was saying he got up and a bunch of the friends came down to help our neighbor, help him with his business, folding T-shirts and doing everything that they needed to do. And that was really, really powerful to watch them come together and support one another.
100%. And that's what we need all the time. Just come together, just support one another. You never know, just that kind word, or like you said, that gentleman folding the T-shirts. Mm-hmm. How amazing is that? Is he getting paid to do that? Is he down? No, he just wants to support. It's all about support. I see it in other communities, people doing, especially in our Latino community, it's like, we need to do it more.
Yeah, I'll say they were Latino. They are Latino. That's what happened. The homies came down and were helping their guy. That was really good.
Because that's what it's about. No one can succeed just alone, just sitting on an island alone. You have to have a team around you. You have to have a village around you. And the more people realize that, the more growth will come, the more successful people will be, the happier people will be. I mean, it makes people happy when they get support from people. It makes people happy when you're highlighting their successes.
Now, Diahanna, one thing we used to do together is we used to go down to the Skid Row every Thanksgiving time. And, I'm curious to know, in your heart of hearts, when you would come down there, and we would be down there in the early morning getting all set up. And so we seen some stuff, right? And so what is now that, homelessness is on the lips of everybody, and having been down there in an intimate level on Skid Row, what were your thoughts in those days, in your heart? What were you thinking? And, how did you come to, did you feel a sense that you were helping the people?
In the beginning, like when I first went down, the first time I ever went down there, and Kitty, right? The first time I ever went down there, I was crying, and she was like, "Stop, don't do that." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "But it's so sad." She goes, No, don't let them see you crying, And it had to be explained to me, and once you have, I met a gentleman down there who was a doctor.
Wow.
Kitty had his licenses and everything, but his wife left him. He had a nervous breakdown, and then he ended up on Skid Row. Then he got a spider bite with an infection. He ended up in the hospital for months. It's just their stories, right? People down there, it's all types of people, right? It's people that are down there that need to be down there. There's people that are down there that, it's drug use. It's all type of things, right? But at the end of the day, they're still human. And honestly, a lot of people that are down there, they don't want anything from you. They just want to be seen as a human. They don't want to be, when they're walking towards you, you jump to the other side of the street because you don't want to be bothered with them, or because you think they have an odor or whatever. If that was the case, I'm not benefiting I'm not getting paid to go down there or whatever, and I've been doing this since I think 2008, and the COVID, this one time, but I still did what I normally do, but I just couldn't be down there because they were limiting people. But COVID stopped that. But you do it because you see the need. You see the need in the people, and it's just growing and growing and growing. One lady that was down there, and you get to know the people, from going down there. And they have another facility in the valley, Hope Gardens, right?
Yes.
So I would go there 3 times a year. And just talking to the women and getting to know them. There was one lady that was down there. She was Asian, and she has 6 children. When she first came here, she didn't speak any English. Her husband got over here, left her with all the kids. She didn't have a way to get back, and she ended up down there. So there's stories of these individuals that are down there that people just assume, they're homeless because some people think they're homeless because they want to be homeless. No, it's all reasons why people are homeless. Now, there are reasons for people that don't go into the program, into the shelters, right? Because they have rules and they don't want to follow the rules. But, it's just, it's a sad, I know I keep using the word sad, but, it's sad to see all of that. But it warms my heart when I go down there and I know I'm making a difference just by talking to someone.
Yeah, a kind word goes a long way, in people's lives. You never ever know.
When you were down there, you saw that. I was talking to people, so yeah.
I was there a lot.
Oh yeah. You were there every time I was there.
Yes.
Well, at that one particular event, yeah.
I was down there a lot, and then we arranged the funeral of the brother that got shot by the police down there. I was able to go down and begin to talk to people. I wanted to understand who he was in context of the Skid Row community. So I would take the train down every night and walk around Skid Row and talk to people. I mean, I talked to some people that were, way out there, but I got a sense of who he was, Brother Africa. We ended up finding his mom and his sister out in Boston. We were able to raise enough money for them to fly here. And ultimately, we had a funeral up at home in the United Methodist Church and shipped his body back to Cameroon, West Africa.
Oh,
wow. That's one of the biggest things I've ever done in my life. That was.
I'm sure, and it's such a sad thing, and I'm sure there's a story behind that, how he got here. It's like, it's a story. It's a story behind everything,
and that's the whole thing of even why I began to do it, because it was all over the news when the police shot him. But then they kept saying that he was a bank robber, in the news. And I said, well, okay, but something happened in this man's life to get him on Skid Row. So, I mean, let's figure out who he really was, and then where's his mom and his family, because all they're going to do is put him in a cardboard box somewhere, and family won't even know. And so that was really the stimulation for me to get up and get out there and really try to figure out who Brother Charlie was.
Yeah, well, that's good.
It. Yeah.
Well, bless you for doing that.
Yeah. So, all right. Now, what's the latest product in the Herbalife line that the people need to know about, or how do we? I want to talk about what are the business opportunities? Everybody's pivoting. There's folks out here that lost their job or job changed on them, COVID. But hey, Herbalife might be a good business for you to start. What's the latest product in the business development area?
You know what? I'm trying to think, because we normally have like major product launches at events, and it's virtual. So I think maybe our hemp oil, I'm trying to think of what's the latest.
The hemp oil, Herbalife is in the cannabis business.
Yeah, it's for your facial, for your skin. Yeah. It's I think that probably is probably the most recent. Normally I'm all over things like that because we're live events, we're doing that, but it's more educational things that we're doing right now. So but yeah, I think that's the latest. And then just like, any other, you can go to herbalife.com if you want more information about, the company and the products and the business opportunity and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's probably a really good time, you guys, for you to jump on Herbalife because I know we have all probably gained weight in this COVID.
Oh my God.
There at home.
Listen, I have readily products available to me, and trust me, it's like, but it's more being, it's at being active too, it's like, you're sitting in front of a camera, 10, 12 hours of the day, so, but yeah, but look, I love the company that I work for. I believe in it. I believe in our nutrition lines. I believe in everything about the company 100%. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. It's a family, so, and that's the reason why I have stayed, because I believe in everything about the company, its products, its opportunity, everything. Yeah.
Do you have the same crew?
You know what? I have it's just bigger, but yes.
Okay, yeah.
Same crew that it's just a little larger.
Oh, that's right. Oh, wow. And so everybody's traveling with you? Would you get the chance to travel?
Yeah, well, it depends on the event, right? So, but throughout the year, yeah, they're all traveling with me. It just depends on the event, the size of the event, and where we're going. But for the most part, they're all traveling somewhere with me. Yeah.
Best country that you've been to?
Oh my God. You know what? I would have to say, people always ask me that. And I always say, to me, it's a tie. South Africa, Cape Town, and Australia. And the reason being is because, especially Australia, it's like you can go to different areas. Like I went to the Outback, and you can go to the part in Sydney where, you have the water and everything like that. Then you go to the Outback, you have all the nature. It's just like 2 hours and like 15 minutes away. So it was just so much to see. And it was just, when you go somewhere and it's peace. It was just peace. And then going to South Africa and going to see everything and just how Mandela is just, it's like, idolized. Oh my God. And then going over to Robben Island, and that was an experience, and then to find out at Robben Island that all the tour guides were former prisoners.
Former prisoners, yes.
I'm talking to people, and he was like, oh yeah, well, let me take you to where I stayed, because everyone here, we were former prisoners, all the tour guides, all of them. So that was amazing. They would give us their stories, Part of the tour was them telling us their story and then telling the story about, you went there, right? You went to Robben Island, right?
Oh yeah, I take tour groups, so I organize tour groups over, yeah.
So seeing how different, right, the regular prisoners were from the side that Mandela was on, and, what they got to eat versus what the other prisoners got to eat. Yes. Now, my thing is that, so you went over there. We know it's a prison, right?
Yeah.
But is it, and I don't want to sound funny because you've been there and people that have been there will know what I'm talking about. It's beautiful.
It's very beautiful.
Oh my God. I was just like, oh my God, this is beautiful. The water, the ocean, the flowers, everything. Then you go on the side where Mandela was, and it's all brick. You can't see anything but brick, They built that and all that beauty, but it was just, it was just an amazing experience for me, That's one place.
I got a chance to drive a $9 million yacht across the. So I have this thing. I like to see how things work.
Yes.
So I'm always looking, at the mechanisms. So I'm watching the guy. It was a big giant catamaran, and I'm watching the guys get prepared to leave the dock and sail on over to Robben Island. So I'm just kind of looking over his shoulder. The guy looks at me and I say, hey man, can I drive? And we just start laughing. So I go and I sit down, and the captain comes over and said, I thought you wanted to drive. And I was like, you know what? And I got behind the wheel, the helm there. I was able to plot the course on the computer to the spot, and I sailed the catamaran all the way over to Robben Island and back. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a ball. That was really, really great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Cape Town is a great city.
It is. It is. Yeah.
We're trying to get our tours back up. We've been talking to our folks over there. So we're just going to see how these next few months of COVID goes before we begin to start putting it out there. But we want to take y'all over there. You'll be hearing a lot about it on Coffee.
Oh my God, it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. It was amazing. Yeah, and and I've been all over this world, and it was such a beautiful place. It just had so much history, and when you can go somewhere and you can learn things, it's great to travel that way.
Now, have you gone to Cape Town? Johannesburg?
Yes, I did go to Johannesburg.
Yeah.
So I've only been to Johannesburg and Cape Town. Yes.
I see. Yeah.
Definitely different. It's different.
Yes. I like Joburg. I love that city. That's a good one.
Yeah. Definitely different, but still good, Yeah, but my favorite was Cape Town, though.
I went to Durban also a couple of times, and when I went there, that's the kingdom of the Zulus, and so I was in Durban, and then after I was there for an event, and then immediately after the event, I stayed longer and rented a car. And I was doing all these meetings. I went into the kingdom of Swaziland and everything. I hired a driver, but I wanted to do the driving,
Oh my goodness! Of course you did.
So it was really cool. It was really cool to be that deep, in Africa. Because if I'd have came up missing, if I'd have got lost, you wouldn't be seeing me today.
Oh yeah, That's why. Yeah, I don't drive around certain. It's like get a driver or get a guide or something like that. Yeah.
All right, Diahanna Brown. Listen, thank you so much for coming on Coffee Conversations with Greg J. Let me ask you this: any words of encouragement and inspiration to the people who might be watching this?
Just stay strong. And, like I mentioned before, now is the time to don't have second thoughts about your reinvention. If there's something you want to do, go for it. Don't have any doubts, just having your mentality that you can do it. It's okay to fail. It's okay to fail once, twice, 3, 4, 5. It's okay, but try. If it's something you want to do, go for it. Don't let anything hold you back. And we tend to do that. We tend to talk about things we want to do, but scared to try them because we're scared of that no or that failure. Get the no. What's her name from Radio 1?
Kathy Hughes.
Listen to her conversation. Remember, she said she got about 150 no's, right? Before she was able to start her rate. And look at her, like, go for it. Go for it. Don't let anything hold you back. Go for it.
All right, ladies, go for it. That's what we say. Diahanna Brown, one of our phenomenal women, International Women's History Month. This is what we're doing. Thank you so much for coming on. She's one of the most phenomenal women that I know. And I know a lot of them, but she's up there in the top, And so we're going to continue this conversation all month long with various women. I tell you what, Thursday, we're going to have a really awesome panel discussion with Black women in media. I guess I could say Black women in radio. So we'll have Karen Slade from KJLH. We'll have Wendy Williams, not the Wendy Williams, the other one, who is the general manager of WCLK at Clark at Atlanta University down there in Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to have Mutra Evans, who is a former radio station owner. We're going to have Dr. Dolores Thompson from KBLX in San Francisco. And we're going to reach all the way over there to Johannesburg, South Africa, and bring our good friend Tommy Ngabeni back on to talk. And we're going to have a conversation about women in the radio business, and from certainly always from a Black perspective, culturally relevant. That's what we are over here at Beach City Radio, beachcityradio.com. Support us, y'all. You can go ahead and give us that Cash App if you want to continue to hit us up and support social independent media. Buy some advertising. Do us. You can get the coffee too. ColumbusOnCoffeeCompany.com. That's how we do it. And thank you all for listening. Thank you for your support. And thanks so much for supporting my friend Diahanna Brown. She's the bomb, right? She is the bomb. Thank you,
Thanks, Greg.
Diahanna.
Thank you,
Okay.
Greg. Thanks for having me. And congratulations on your show.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody. You know what it is. Love one another. Love one another. Love one another. Peace and blessings.